Sometimes I struggle with the thought that it's not me creating anyway, but that creation is creating through me. A friend reminded me that both things are true at the same time, and then I wonder how much I can trust my thoughts. Hi, I'm Nicole Reed. So as I've been making these YouTube videos, it's been really interesting, the different feedback that I've been getting from people. And I have a former client who we've been emailing, and she had some really good questions that we agreed that I could make into a video because it might help some other people. So here is what she has written. She says, "I'm a powerful creator, and I find myself questioning my creation. Sometimes I struggle with the thought that it's not me creating anyway, but that creation is creating through me. A friend reminded me that both things are true at the same time, and then I wonder how much I can trust my thoughts." This is a really interesting question. So she goes on to it's sort of like this idea of like, why bother? You know, if it's not really me that's creating, then like, can I even trust my thoughts? So it's like this idea that we don't have free will, maybe. Like, what does that mean? It's like, well, if God's creating through me, then like, what is the point in actually taking any action in life? Because it's not really me anyway. So I'm kind of like this puppet, right? And so maybe there's like a helpless feeling going on with that. So, so she also says, it feels like it's an illusion anyway. And there's this, and it is, by the way, like life really is about perception and illusion. It's hard for us to come to grips with that. The more that we can accept that, the more we can just play with it and let it be and not have to understand all of the mystery. I know we want to understand all of it, but for now, let's move on to this piece about the thoughts. So to what degree are my thoughts actually able to reflect God's truths? And I think as in me, don't really have much in the way of volition. If I create, it's because God is creating through me. I'm an expression of God's creation. Okay, but here's what's interesting, and I think this might be the missing piece, is that if you're thinking this way, you are thinking that God is separate than you and creating through you. So like you are this entity and God's creating through you, and so then you're kind of like this puppet, right? And there's that sort of like, what's the point feeling maybe coming from that. But at the same time, she also knows she's a powerful creator. We all are, right? And so there's this understanding, okay, well, I am a powerful creator. I'm able to really express from within what it is I'm wanting to create in the world, right? But there's this idea of, basically, it's reconciling, what is God? Is God something outside of me? Is God moving through me? I am also God. Then, like, how does it all work? And where do thoughts come into play? And how do I trust those? And so my answer for this, and this is just my thoughts in the moment, also as a piece of God, is that you are God and you are an expression of God, because God is everything and everywhere. God is energy. God is in all substance, in all space, right? It's this fluid substance energy that's moving through everything. And so it's like God expresses itself. So we are all expressions of God. And we also have the ability to move and influence this whole energy. So if we think about it, like we're all like a giant blob. This might be the best way to think about it in the moment. We're all this giant blob kind of moving around. And as a piece of the blob, if we move a little bit, like the whole blob starts to kind of move. But as different pieces move, like there's like these ripples through the blob, right? So you're an important piece of that. And if you remain still and other people are creating, then you're kind of just being like flopped around. But if you're like also moving, it's kind of like this dance, right? We're all sort of dancing together in this energy. We all get to have a say in what's going on. And what is the best for all of us is the best for all of us, right? So if it's good for you, it's good for everyone because we're all connected. So you are a powerful creator, and it is really important to really tap into that and to own it and to embrace it. And at the same time, if you are dancing like forcefully, right? Like it's really like a jarring experience. But if you're kind of fluidly moving and receiving the energy of others and then pushing your own energy out into the dance, right? Then it's this more surrendered, fluid experience, right? There's a way in which it's like you kind of lead and you kind of follow, and you kind of lead and you kind of follow. So you're not helpless and you're not powerless, and you're also not totally in control of absolutely everything. It's both. It's and. It's this world of and. And where thoughts come into play is really interesting. In meditation, classically, we're trained to observe the thoughts, to watch them go by but not get hooked on the train, so to speak. So the best way I would say this is to just notice your thoughts, because you are not your thoughts. Your thoughts are a separate thing, right? So just because you think something doesn't mean this is who you are, because if you can't observe your thoughts, you are not them, right? Because you are the one watching the thoughts. So there is some kind of a separation there. I mean, I know we're all unified, but there's some kind of a separation there. Bear with me. I'm trying to stay with myself here. So it's maybe not about trusting thoughts, but maybe it's more about choosing thoughts. It's about noticing, witnessing, and then kind of like picking them out. Like, which one do I want to follow, right? And there's also something really beautiful about being an animal. Like, we're all animals. We have reptilian instincts within our bodies that we do. We respond to things. And if you are trying to discount this piece of yourself, then you're doing yourself a disservice, right? Because that is part of who you are, and it's a huge power. And so paying attention to your instincts, right? So it's like there's these instincts, there's these emotions, there's these thoughts, and there's this spirit, and it's all really integrated. You think about mind, body, soul connection, it's a whole unit, right? So you do a disservice to yourself if you separate any piece of this. So I think it's really about integration, right? And not separating out these things too much. But sometimes we need to separate and compartmentalize in order to see the bits, so that then we can kind of bring them in and integrate. And so if it helps to think that God is outside of you and you are also God, it's like, okay, what's happening with that? And then one day it will kind of make a little bit more sense, right? And if you're like, oh, I have instinct and I have rational thought, but it's like, bring it together and integrate that as well. Like notice how these pieces connect within you. So a big word here is connection. We're all connected. And also like surrendering to that dance. It's a universal dance within all of us. And it's about learning how to play our role in that dance and to know when to lead and when to follow. It's co-creative. It's a co-creative dance, right? You're dancing with the energy. We're all dancing with it. And so it's tuning into maybe your instinctual animal rhythm, also observing with your, that sort of oneness spirit about what's going on. Also putting forth what you're wanting and just like learning how to integrate all of that. And that's a lot already, right? Like that could take up your life trying to figure out how to do all that. But there's going to be moments where it's all going to kind of come together, and there will be this visceral understanding that life is a lot more than what you think it is. And we are all living in illusion. But while we're here, let's make the best of it. I hope this has helped. Please feel free to post in the comments below your thoughts on this whole matter. It's a big topic, and love for all of our consciousness to weigh in on it. See you next time.